Hi there. My name is Colleen Menning and I am a Paparazzi accessories consultant. My consultant ID number is 28606. I would like to show you guys a few different types of displays that are made on a budget. So if you are new, just starting out, I've got a few ideas for you to get started without spending a lot of money on displays. There's lots and lots of things you can do out there, but I'm just going to touch on a few and give you a couple ideas that I have right now for you. So you'll notice a lot of paparazzi consultants have the pegboard display like this. Now, pegboard displays are not overly expensive, but they can get a little bit more spendy than some of the other ideas that I'll show you. But those, I'll touch on them a little bit, but those can be built in all kinds of different ways, different directions, different sizes. I'll probably do a different video for that, just because it's a little bit more involved in how you get it set up and all that stuff. But I do want to show you real quick that what we use is a clothes rack. This right here is a clothes rack from Walmart. They're like $15, $13 to $15, something like that. I wouldn't buy them somewhere else, only because I've seen them for a lot more expensive in other places. So Walmart's probably your best bet for that. I would suggest when you use the display racks with your clothing racks with your pegboard, that you take the casters off. That way it's a little bit more stable. Now we do use those also with twirly ties, and I'll show you what those are here in a minute. And with those, it's okay to have the casters left on, just because you know, they're a lot more lightweight. These get very heavy. I've actually had one tip over at a home party once. Thank goodness nobody was in front of it, but it can happen if it gets too heavy and too overloaded. So the way I have it set up right now, I only have 2 pegboards on it. Normally with my pegboards, I have 4. So I have 2 pieces, a top and a bottom. They are independent of each other, but I usually have 2, so I have 2 sets here and 2 sets on the other end, so it gets really quite heavy. But that's one option, and you know, you can buy a 4x8 piece of pegboard at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something, somewhere like that, a home improvement store, and they can cut it for you to whatever size that you want, and then you just paint it and hang it. I will show you what I use for my hangers. So the hooks that I use here up on the top, those are shower curtain hooks. They're the little metal, kind of an S shape. I know my lighting's not great, sorry about that, I'm out in my garage. So that's the S hook that I use for, or shower curtain hook that I use to hang the top, okay? And the bottom, I've drilled holes in the bottom, so the bottom piece actually attaches to the top piece, and it's attached, so it just slides right in using these little S hooks. You see those little, let me see if I can hold it up. This little S hook right here hooks right into the bottom piece, okay? And then I have another one there. And then I've got holes drilled on the top pegboard there, and they slide right in, and then that hooks right to that top pegboard. Super simple, and not too expensive to do something like this, especially if you're only doing 2. I think the pegboard itself, you know, buying the pegboard itself and the paint was the most expensive. I outlined mine with black masking tape to make it look like it's got, you know, kind of a border. You don't have to do that. So that's the pegboard display. And again, I'll do a little more detailed video with that, where I've got my whole setup, and I'll show you some different ways to do that, different dimensions, things like that. My next one, and this one can be a little bit more expensive, is the display case. Okay, so this one my husband made for me. So if you go on Google, and I will also post a link, the link that I used to build ours, I'll post that in the description of the video. You can get plans to make your own, and it won't be quite as expensive as if you have it made for you, okay? So this is really great because, show you, wash a couple things. This is super, super simple because all you have to do is close it right up, latch it, and mine have handles, so I can carry them just like that. It's really great, super quick setup, which I love. When you start getting a lot of jewelry, you're gonna find that your setup is pretty daunting if you've got a lot of it. So something like this where it's really handy, all you do is throw it up on the table and open it up and set it up is really great. Okay, so you know, this can be a more expensive display, of course, like I said. You know, it's also pegboard. Now these pegboard, I lucked out and I went to Lowe's and found 2x2 pieces already done. Last time I looked, I couldn't find them. If you can find them already cut to that size, it's really great. I just painted them, and then of course we screwed them to the frame that we built. Really, really simple. And then you can hang all your stuff in there. So another display that I want to show you that I just kind of came up with just like yesterday. I never have a really great way to display the urban bracelets, these urban bracelets. Okay, so I have people pass by them all the time because I just kind of throw them in a bin, or I put them on one of those tea things, and people just don't look at them. So I'm hoping, I haven't tried this out yet, but I'm hoping this will get people to look at them a little bit more because you can kind of see what they are this way. But I took a tension rod and I put it right inside my case here, and I just put the bracelets right on it. So I'll show you. The tension rod, these were like $3 at Walmart. They kind of compress, and they can expand. If you twist them, they expand further. So you can put them anywhere that you have two ends of something. You know, you can even put these in a bookcase and display your own bracelets like this right inside your bookcase inside of a shelf, because you've got this will compress enough to where it'll stay there. So I just took the tension rod and I put it right in between the edges of my case here and put my little bracelets on there. So I'm hoping that that will do a little bit more, display them a little bit better. And it's really great because I can close that right up and they don't have to come off at all. I can just close it right up and be done with it. So that's really, really great. I'll kind of touch on the peg hooks. So the peg hooks that we use, or that I have here, are locking J hooks, and you can buy them on Amazon. And again, I'll look for the link and post it for you to find them easy. So what they are is, mine's a little bit dirty. They're this little black hook. You can see that. It's a locking hook. So if you notice when you're using the peg hooks that come with our starter kits, they're not real easy to transport. They fall out. You can use them, and you can put rubber bands around the back to keep them in place. But these locking J hooks are so worth the investment. They're not overly expensive. I mean, they're more expensive than a peg hook, but I'll tell you, so much better. So if you can afford to get something like this, definitely a great investment for your business, because they are not going to go anywhere, and the jewelry does not have to come off your displays. So when I used to set up with the silver peg hooks, I would have to take those down and take my jewelry off of my case or my display boards all the time. And so anytime I went to an event or had a home party, I would have to reset that up every single time, and it was so time consuming. So with these, this jewelry never comes off my boards. I just wrap them in bubble wrap and all of it stays right there. So your jewelry is just not gonna fall off of that. I mean, unless you have a disaster and it falls over or tips over or something, of course, then you might. I've had that happen. But it just goes right in, and then that little piece locks right into place, and it's not going anywhere. So great investment with those locking J hooks. So let me move this. Another alternative to hooks, if you don't have the peg hooks or you don't have the J hooks, you can use something like this even. Now this is total, I mean, just great piece, great display on a budget. Sorry, my table's a little crooked. This is a great display on a budget. So what this is 2 pieces of pegboard, just cut to size, whatever size you decide, and the back side is just laced up with ribbon. You can see the ribbon at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see the ribbon at the bottom. So you literally are just lacing up the 2 pieces of pegboard there to combine them. And to carry it, you can just fold it right up just like that. Now your jewelry is on the outside, but you know, it's easier. You can wrap that in pegboard. Oh, geez. You can wrap that in bubble wrap or whatever you want to wrap it in and be able to transport it that way. The reason I would bend it that way is obviously because my hooks that I have on this one, this is literally, this has been sitting in my garage, so it's driving me crazy, sorry. It's dirty, I can't stand it. That's really important. Having clean displays, very important. Make sure you're cleaning your displays after your events, because nothing says, you know, not unprofessional than a dirty display. This just is for sample, so forgive me. But this is literally just a screw and a nut. So let's see if I can undo it. These happen to be longer. I'm not exactly sure how long, probably 1.5 inches, 2 maybe, I'm not sure. A screw and a nut, and it just literally goes right through the hole, and you can see the nut right here to keep it tight, and then you can hang your jewelry right on that. So you don't actually even have to have peg hooks to start with. If you don't have any, you can just use a screw and a nut. Okay, and that could be put in any kind of pegboard. It could be put on this pegboard, you know, whatever you want to do. But this is a really great alternative. Now, I like this little display for long necklaces because sometimes it's really hard to fit long necklaces on your pegboard. Like for me, I decided to have mine vertical so that I could have long necklaces. Now I've seen some people that have theirs go vertical, but then they have to hang their long necklaces each time, and I don't have time to set them up like that, so I decided to go vertical. But with this, this is really great. I use this type of little display to set on the corner of my table for extra long necklaces, or maybe I've got some chunky necklaces that just don't fit on my pegboards. You know, like this, it takes up some space, so it doesn't look really nice when it's being displayed compared to some of the other stuff. So you may want to just have this, something like this, to help those pieces stand out a little bit. But it's a really great alternative, really inexpensive. You can even find scrap pegboard at yard sales, you know, maybe Goodwills, or even auctions. Auctions would have stuff like that as well. And a little bit of paint goes a long way. So it's really, really worth checking out. I know there's been times where we've tossed scrap pegboard, and I'm thinking, well, gosh, I could have used that. So, you know, something worth checking out. And I'm sorry, the light is, it's getting kind of dark out. The sun's starting to go down, so it's kind of dark in here. So yeah, that's a great display option. I'm gonna set down here for now. Okay, so that is, that's it for the display cases. So now, I'll show you, oh actually, you know, let's see. I didn't hang these on here, but this is super important. Now this is tiny, but super important. Busts. Busts are, they are amazing for your sales. People will flock to those compared to your pegboard because they're able to see what the product looks like. So these are really great. You can get them in a couple different sizes, and I would suggest the bigger size. If you can only buy a couple, buy the bigger size versus the smaller size, because most of our necklaces are too long for the small one. So if you have to choose between the two, go with the taller one, okay? But you can buy these, I want to say they're like $4 maybe at Joann's. You can buy them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any of those types of craft stores, jewelry store, you know, that have jewelry making supplies, has these. Now, what I would suggest is never pay full price for these, because Joann's especially always has coupons, and you can always get at least 40%, sometimes up to 60% off of a regular priced item. So when I go into town and I stop at Joann's when I can, and I pick one up with my coupon. I mean, I may only buy one because I only have one coupon, but Joann's will let you use multiple coupons per transaction. So if you can find a couple coupons, you can buy a couple of these at a time, you know, 2, 3, 4, however many coupons you have, but you can get them for a couple bucks. So very, very worth the investment of a few dollars for your busts. Even if you don't have displays like these, you know, cases and stuff, have busts. If you have to, put your busts on the table and lay jewelry out in front of you. But I would definitely suggest the busts, because that's the eye catcher. That's what's going to catch a person's attention when they're walking by your booth or your table, and they see that beautiful piece of jewelry on that black bust that really just stands out. You know, these are great, but they're kind of busy. This is going to catch somebody's attention. So super great investment here. Another really great way to display these is risers. So you could have maybe 4, 5, 6 of these busts and make a beautiful display just by using risers. Now, if you don't have to go and buy specialty risers. You can use boxes. This is an empty Fashion Fix box. If you don't have Fashion Fix yet, that's okay. You can use the shipping boxes. They're really cute. They're pink. They say Paparazzi on them. You technically don't even have to cover them. But what I would do is take the empty boxes and, first of all, always have a tablecloth. I don't have one here just because it's packed away and I didn't want to dig it out. But always have a tablecloth on your table. A black tablecloth is best because it shows everything a little nicer. But what I do is put a tablecloth on. I have it down to the floor so that you can put extra boxes and stuff like that, you know, the unsightly stuff that you don't want people to see, you can store under your table and it'd be hidden under your tablecloth. So first thing, put your tablecloth down. Then you can take your risers, your empty boxes, and you can literally even have just one, maybe a couple, have a couple stacked on top, have your busts on the risers, and then have maybe some smaller busts in the front. And look, that's already created some height. Having visual effects of height also creates interest in your table space. It uses better table space, and it's just more, you know, visually pleasing. So it's a good idea to have risers. I use also those wood crates, so you could buy those at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or any of those places. I painted mine pink, and I have, you know, those that I put my busts in. Looks really cute. It's very striking display. So it's, you know, you could do those if you have extra money, you want to buy something like that. You don't have to. Again, empty boxes, perfect. So what I would suggest with risers is lay your tablecloth out, put your risers on, and then have a smaller tablecloth of some kind, maybe a contrasting color, or, you know, black on black is fine, but have a smaller tablecloth that just drapes over just the boxes. So it kind of hides the unsightliness of the boxes, and then you can put your kind of drape it around, and then you can put your busts on that. If you don't have that, that's okay. Just maybe pick, you know, these are nice. These look nice even by themselves, these black boxes. So technically, you know, with a nice black tablecloth there, you don't even need a tablecloth on top of those. If you're using the pink shipping boxes from Paparazzi, that's okay too. They're cute, they're pink, they say Paparazzi. You know, you don't have to cover them. I prefer it just because it looks a lot more, a little more classy, a little cleaner. So that's my choice. You know, you can do with or without it, either or. But, you know, risers are definitely a great thing to have. Excuse me. So let's talk about some hair accessories. We don't have a lot of hair accessories that we sell anymore. We do have hair clips. But if you do have hair headbands still, this is a great option. Really inexpensive. I made this, you know, by myself. I am not a sewer, as you can see, but it is literally a piece of scrap fabric that I have made and stuffed. I've sewn it and stuffed it for a headband display. Super, super easy. Really inexpensive. I mean, I think I even got the fabric from Goodwill at one time, so really cheap to do. You know, very, very affordable. And you can just lay it on top of your table, or, you know, put it in front of your riser, just like that. Okay. Another headband display that I made. So when I first started Paparazzi, everything I saw was a potential display of some kind of jewelry display. When I went into stores, I would walk through the bathroom aisles and just everywhere, and ooh, that would make a great display. Ooh, that would be perfect. So this, and actually I got this at Goodwill as well. This is a toilet paper roll holder. So this actually would sit down by your toilet, and you'd put your toilet paper rolls in there. It would store extras right inside your bathroom. So let me show you. Well, so what I've done was I made it into a headband holder. It fits perfect, just like that. Perfect for headbands, hippie headbands. Now, the way that I've got mine staying on here is my fabric that I've got has little buttons, and so this just kind of tucks into the button and keeps it in place. But this is literally, let me see if I can pull this down just a little bit. It's a plastic tube, okay? You can actually, if you can't find this, it's got this little silver base at the bottom, white and silver. This one just happened to be what it looks like. If you can't find something like this already done, you can actually go to Lowe's or Home Depot and you can buy tubing that's like this as well. Not as inexpensive, because that stuff is very expensive, but it's possible. It's an option. I would suggest going to Goodwill and just going through their aisles and looking at stuff like this that you know, you can be creative with. This piece of fabric was actually a valance that I bought at Goodwill, and I literally just sewed it straight down and just kind of slid it right over. I added my own buttons so that I could hold my hippie headbands on. But this was, you know, the bows were already there because it was a valance, and it was just really super cute. And I thought, you know what, gosh, that would fit perfect right over that. And bam, I've got a headband display. You know what I mean? So it's just be creative. Come up with some ideas of how to display this stuff that's kind of inventive, and any cylinder type of thing will hold your headbands. You know, I didn't bring any kind of hair clip stuff this time, so I'll have to see what I can come up with for another video for that. But again, super simple. I mean, literally just a piece of ribbon hanging from your rack here. You can have a piece of ribbon, and then you can take your hair clips and clip them right onto the ribbon. So easy. And then the ribbon you can actually use from leftover gifts that you've received or whatever. I never throw away ribbon because you can always use it. So that's it for headbands. So let's talk about a couple of bracelet displays. Now, this bracelet display is actually from Amazon, so not something I invented or, you know, came up with and was creative or anything, but it's really great for these types of bracelets, and they just slip right inside there. I have also put skinny rings because we don't have a very good way to display skinny rings. I've actually put like 3 skinny rings in each one of these things and displayed them that way because they fit just fine. But I wanted to show this to you just because it is a really great display. I think they were like, or wait, maybe I didn't get these from Amazon. I got these from Store Supply, I believe. Store Supply, it's an online retail display store, and I'll again give you guys the link. But I think they were like $8 to $10. It wasn't super expensive, but very worth it for, you know, if you in the future you want to get something like this. They look nice, they're professional, they keep these really nice and clean. And then, you know, some of these things, when you hang them on a regular bracelet display, they just kind of flop down, you know, you can't really see them. So I kind of like that these kind of keep them where you can see all those word bracelets really well. Okay, so that's a really great option. But if you don't have something like this, let me show you a couple ideas. This is a paper towel holder. It's not the prettiest, but it's doable. You can get these. This happens to be from just the dollar store. Super inexpensive, not pretty at all, but you can take like the toilet paper cardboard, toilet paper rolls, you can tape a couple together and maybe cover it with a little bit of fabric and slide it right over so that it's kind of round, you know, got this round piece. I have not done that yet because I've got some other displays I use now. But you can definitely do that. You can just leave it like this. You can find this kind of thing at any store. You can find it at Goodwill's. You can find it at, you know, yard sales. And you can get a lot nicer ones than this. You can get like, some are really nice chrome. You can get some that are wood, but it's just or metal. It's just a paper towel holder. So, super simple. And then you can throw your bracelets, your wrap bracelets, or your bangle bracelets like these. Could also go right on here and just kind of stack. So I would suggest doing the toilet paper holders or toilet paper rolls so that they stay a little bit better and they're not just, you know, flopping down to the bottom. But, you know, you can definitely make something really great out of this with a little bit of creativity. Okay, so something like that would work. And I actually do use these in my paparazzi truck. I actually have a couple of these. These are from the dollar store. I love them because they were pink, of course. And I stack this style of simple bangle bracelet. Of course, they're kind of piled on there right now, but I put these types on here. The ones I have are a little bit wider, so they sit up a little bit more. But just a simple bangle bracelet like that can go inside here, and or your cuffs. Like, okay, my tags are sticking together, but there we go. So you can put your cuff bracelets like that. So that's a cuff. And I put flowers, little silk flowers in here, and I change out my flowers for the seasons. So in the fall, you know, I have brown, orange colors, yellows. In the spring, I have the brighter, pretty pinks and stuff like that. But it is pretty to look at. The color of the vase with the flowers, it's a decoration, but it's also useful for, you know, showing your bracelets. So it's another option. This is $1, and throw in a couple flowers, you're up to $3. You know, a couple, $2 or $3. Actually, you can go to the dollar store and get a little bundle of silk flowers for $1. So you could literally have a bracelet display for $2. Okay, so another great idea for that. So another something else that I would suggest you get when you have the money, extra money to spend. This is wonderful. I love these. You can find these on eBay. You can find them, shoot, my sister found, gosh, I think like 8 of them for $5 a piece at a yard sale. But they are the mannequins, the dress forms, they call them. And, you know, grab a cute little shirt or even just a t-shirt. You could do like a denim shirt or button-down shirt, whatever kind of clothes you want. Just something really cute that will display your jewelry. And I sell jewelry off of these all the time. People love these because this, as opposed to this, gives people a visual of fashion. So it's going to show your customers, you know, what this type of necklace would look like with this. It gives them ideas. People love to see the visuals and have ideas given to them of how they can pair something together. So I would suggest one of these if you can swing it. I always have these. I have several of these in my truck because I want to display the clothes with the jewelry, so it can show off the jewelry, so people can see how and get ideas for it, for their own outfits. And you know, I believe you can get those. I think when you buy them at a store supply, they're like $10. Although you do have to pay shipping, so you know it could be a little bit more of an investment for those, especially when you do have to pay shipping on top of it. But you know, look around, look on Craigslist. I see these sometimes on Craigslist. So keep checking until you find something great. So let's talk about transporting, or actually, I will show you the twirly ties, and then I'll show you how to transport. I am going to do a totally separate video on how to transport your twirly ties when you have a lot of them. So this right here is a great way to transport a twirly tie when you have like a basket party, or if you don't have a ton of these, you know, if you only have a few, maybe if you have this type of display here, you want to hang a couple on each side with some long necklaces, you know, having a couple of these to take with you would be great. There's several different ways you can do these. So let me show you the twirly tie first. The wind is starting to pick up and my pegboard is kind of rocking a little bit, so I just don't want it to fall over. All right. So this is the twirly tie. Let me take the lid off so you can see. So that's the twirly tie. These are amazing. I love these. They're great for transporting your jewelry, but I sell off of these as well. So literally you just hang it right on the end of your display there, just like that. And then your customers can shop right from there, okay? Now, this will hold 20 necklaces. It holds a ton. So, I mean, when I display them, I pull these back out, but for the transport, you kind of have to squish them in a little bit. But they'll get a little bit tangled. Just make sure that you're untangling before you hang it out there for people to shop from. You know, pull these back out a little bit and make it look nice. You know, presentation is everything. But twirly ties, you can buy these on Amazon. You can buy them from Lisa. She's my upline. If you want some information on how to find these, I can get you some information on that too. But to transport these for your events, home parties, or even if you're going to put them in a bag party or a basket party, what I do is I squish them kind of tight so that you can get them inside. So what this is I believe, well, I got it from the dollar store, okay? You can get the tall ones or you can get the short ones. These I love because they have the handle type thing here, which is awesome. So they're $1 each. And I don't know if I want to say they're like a spaghetti thing, but they're not. They're way bigger. I don't know what you could store them in. You could store anything in them. So the lid is nice also because it screws on. So when you're carrying that twirly tie, it's not going to come off, which is nice. The bad part of this is, well, first of all, you have to drill your hole in the top so that you can put the twirly tie right through there. But with these, they do come with a lip. So I took a night, I spent, you know, hours, a few hours, couple hours, actually more than that, I think, because I bought an entire case. Now these I bought, I think there was 12 to a case. It was a huge box because these are big. So I did them all at once just to get it done and get it out of the way. But I took a Dremel tool and I just shaved away that little tiny lip that was in here. So the plastic kind of went over just a little bit. I smoothed all that out with my Dremel and a little bit of sandpaper so that lip was no longer there, so that my twirly tie would fit just fine in there. So now, when you put it back in, you just drop it right in there, kind of squish this and kind of finagle it just a little, and you can see, grab the handle here, you can see it fits just fine. It's you know, as long as you push those in on the twirly tie a little bit, it fits just fine. Now you can take an X-Acto knife and cut that lip off too, and then maybe use some sandpaper. If you don't have a Dremel tool, that's fine. That is how you transport. So then you drill your hole. I did my hole just a tiny bit off center because you know, you have to get the hook. Let's see if I can do this. You got to get the hook inside there, just like that, and it falls right off. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of holding it with my knee. And then screw it right on, and bam, there you go. Look at that. Super easy. These are really great. I would recommend these over any of the other types of ways to transport these if you're only doing a few. Like I said, I've got a better way to transport these if you're doing a lot of them, and I'll do that in another video. If you don't have these, another option is oatmeal containers. So your oatmeal container, we just took this and put some contact paper over it just so that it looks a little nicer. You can see the top. The lid just comes right off, and there's your twirly tie. This one's got short necklaces on it. So oatmeal container, super easy. the one thing, and you can, you know, the oatmeal, you know, if you've got these containers, it's going to cost you nothing to make this. The one thing I don't care for about these is that this lid will eventually start loosening up on here. So I've used them where the lid just doesn't stay on anymore. So to start with, it's great, but eventually, you know, you'll probably have to replace it. So with this one, again, just drops right in there. You attach the lid right back on, and there you go. But you know, that lid is just not super sturdy, and especially if this is really heavy. This has got very few necklaces, and it's short necklaces, so it's not as heavy. So it's not too bad for this, but if you really got a lot of them, this is definitely a better option because it screws on versus just snaps on with this. Okay, so but it's a definite option that's not going to cost you anything if you've already got those. Another option is, now this one's not super pretty, but coffee cans. You can do the coffee can thing, same thing. This belonged to my niece. She just took some of our bubble wrap that comes in our order, and she just kind of covered it to make it look good enough to where it kind of hid the coffee. So just something super quick, but you can use coffee cans. And then the other alternative, now this is not for twirly ties, but the other alternative to carrying necklaces is the wine holder. Okay, so these you can buy at any craft store, or you could probably find them at Walmart or dollar store. And what I've done with this one is I've taken, you can see how this works. The string pulls right up, and then I have the necklaces on a binder clip or a binder ring. Okay, so you take the necklace, kind of hard when you don't have a table. So there we go. So that's your necklaces on a binder ring. Now, this is a great way to transport. I would not leave these like this to let people shop from. This is a great way to transport your necklaces or bracelets or whatever you have, and to get them to where you're going to take them, and then take them off and hang them on a peg hook or wherever you're going to hang them. Or like maybe that black one that I had the lace on, maybe I don't want to wrap it and transport stuff on it. So I'll take the stuff off, put it on a binder clip or binder ring like this, and then I'll hang these back on that because there's not very many. So hanging that many isn't going to take you a long time. But let me show you what I did with this. So when you buy this, this is actually this little string. So there's holes already made. This little string is actually on the top like this, and it's kind of threaded into here and then into here. So when I got it to start with, I'm just going to re-show you just so you see the exact way that I did it. Let's see. It looked like this. So your objective here is to have the string on the inside for that binder ring to hook to. So this was like that and like this. So when you first buy it, no, it's not. I have it backwards. It goes on the inside. Okay. Probably should have just left it this way and showed you how to do it the first time. Okay, so when you first buy this, this is what it looks like. You have a handle, just like that, okay? And when you open it, that handle kind of pulls up, tightens up, and then you have the string that holds that on. And that way you never lose the lid. But there's nothing to hang that binder ring on the inside. So you just take, and this is super simple, take that, put it right back through the hole. Do the same thing on the other side to remove the lid. Then you're just gonna do opposite of what this is now. You're gonna make it so that that little loop, that handle, is on the inside of the lid. So that's, I took it out of one end, okay? This end that's already threaded is gonna go back up through the hole on the lid. If I can find it, there we go. Okay, so now you have the string on the inside, and then you have your lid like this. Now you don't want your string to go inward like this, otherwise you're not going to close the lid. So these pieces are going to have to go in from the outside into the hole, just like that. You're going to do the same thing on this side, just like that. You're going to thread it right through the hole, and then there you go. There's your lid. It'll close like that. Now with this, you have a way to hold on to it from the outside also. Okay, so then to put it back in, there's your string. You take your binder clip back over here. So what I'm gonna do is drop the lid, drop this stuff in. See if I can do this one-handed. Okay, so there you go, you've got it in. Open up your binder clip, and then you're gonna take the inside of the string on inside the lid, pull it out so that you can get it into, this is not easy one-handed without a table, into the binder clip, or binder ring, I don't know why I keep saying that, just like that. Close that up, and then you're going to flip your lid, tighten that up. You can pull it like that. Flip your lid right over and close it. Just like that. So now, again, you've got little strings there that you can hold on to it. Super easy for transporting if you have necklaces that you're going to take off and put onto something and not use a twirly tie. Okay? So pretty easy. I think those little things are, I think you can get them for $4 or $5 on sale. Sometimes they're buy one, get one free. But again, always use a coupon when you go to buy stuff like that at the craft stores. I think that is all I've got to show you guys today. Oh, one thing I did want to mention too, banners. Banners are really great to hang on your booth when you're at an event, and you can hang a lot of times, like if they have a backdrop, you can get banner hangers that will actually go way up on top and hang over the little the rod, and this is what they look like. So these, I don't even know where to buy these. I'm sure you could buy them online, or on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon. But instead of buying these, when you buy this type of hook for your pegboard, you're gonna get, I think, I don't know, 10, 12 of these. I don't remember how many is in a shower curtain, how many holes are in a shower curtain, but you're gonna get these, and you're only gonna use, you know, probably, well, for my entire display, I use 4. So you're gonna have extras of these. And look at this. This is the banner holder. This is your shower hook. Looks pretty similar. So what I did was I took this and I just stretched it just a little bit so that it would go over the rod of the backdrop. And then this is where you put your banner, and I have my own banner hangers without having to spend any extra money. So this, I just happened to, they gave me at one of my events, so I can use these if I want to. But if I have 2 banners, now I've got my own also. So, you know, just be inventive, think of ways that you can maximize your dollar. You do not need a fancy display to set up your jewelry. I mean, you can literally have it laying out on the table if you want to, and it will look just as nice. So don't be discouraged with not being able to afford a display in the beginning, if or you know, you don't want to do big fancy stuff like that. It's a lot of work carrying those in. It is. So just don't be discouraged. Get creative when you're in the stores. Look for things that you can hang necklaces on, or bracelets, or earrings, or rings. I did not touch on any kind of rings, ring displays this time. I will have to do a different video on that. What I have done is, we used to have foam that we got with our orders, and I've put it in just in a square box, and I don't think I have it out here. It doesn't look like it. I've taken a square box, you know, like I think it was from perfume that we bought, a nice pretty pink box, and I literally put, that was my horse, I put the foam in there, and I just cut slits big enough to where I could put my rings in there. So I don't know what she's whinnying at, but she's coming running. So so anyway, it's really easy to do that. You can use thread holders that you can buy at Joann's, but I'll do a different video for that, because I just don't have anything ready to show you guys for rings. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to message me, leave a comment here. If you like the video, you like the ideas, please let me know. I would appreciate feedback, and if you're interested in checking out my displays, you can always join my VIP group. I've got lots of pictures, or go to my Facebook page. I've got lots of pictures of my displays, my setups. I have a paparazzi truck. I do have some different types of displays in there, but mostly this type of stuff is for when I go into an indoor event and set up with this stuff. So, but you're welcome to join my VIP group, and the link will be in the description as well. Same with my Facebook. You can check out my website. I also have a lot of photos there that you can look at. And if you are not a consultant yet and you're thinking of joining Paparazzi, I have to say I love my job. I love the business. And you know, if you're interested in joining and want some more information, definitely either email me, text me, call, you know, however you feel comfortable, and just contact me and I can send you some more information. It's a wonderful company, one of the best direct sales businesses out there. So you won't regret it if you decide to take the leap and do this for yourself. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I am going to sign off now. It's starting to get dark. So let me know if you have questions. All right. Bye-bye.